Hello everyone, my name is Joe Alberico. I'm the sports editor for the Banner Press, and this is the Banner Press's Coaches Show. As always, I'm joined by Brenham High School football coach Eliot Allen. Coach, it's good to have you with us as always. How are you doing after Friday night's big district win?
Well, we're doing good. We had a long trip back and got a chance to watch the video on Saturday morning, and now we're on to the next.
You know, you and I had talked about several times just your team needing to put together a full four-quarter complete effort, and obviously Friday's 41-21 win over Marble Falls definitely appeared to be one of those. Was it nice to see that your team was consistently the aggressor, both on offense and defense? You talked about playing, actual football, and do you feel like that win transitioned nicely from what you saw live and onto the game film?
Well, I think number one, it was good to we got off to a good start, and they, like several teams we played, I think their game plan was to come out, but we're a little bit light on defense maybe, and their game plan was to run the football and see how much clock they could milk, and we ended up forcing a turnover or punt in that first punt in the first possession, and our offense getting out and scoring, it kind of forces the opponent's offense hand. They can't sit there and just pound it, and then we got ahead by 2 scores, and I think that just sort of played into our favor. But it transitioned well into film. I think we still are making some mistakes that need to be cleaned up, but we're pleased with the fast start and kind of continuing that through the first half.
Big night offensively for several kids, and you guys got it done through the air and with the rush, and obviously junior quarterback Garrison Weiss had a big night. Junior wide receiver Jan Tusum, last couple games now, some big performances. Weiss also threw touchdowns to Lontarius McLean and Zyron Smith. Tyree Jackson rushed for over 100 yards and had a couple scores. So was the offense as well-rounded as it was by design, or was it kind of just you were making adjustments to Marble Falls as the game went along?
Well, I think we have a lot of people that can contribute, and I think as an offense, we want to be balanced, and so it was really for us. We like seeing that. We like seeing. I don't want to be a team that chunks it every down, and I think having that balance with the run and the pass, and then using multiple receivers, and I think that's what you want as an offense, and so I was pleased with our kids.
You talked about getting the 2-score lead. Once you go up 14-0, did you feel kind of comfortable taking some chances? I mean, you were passing the ball a little bit more than I've seen in the previous weeks.
Well, one of the things we wanted to do is we didn't want to get that 14-point lead and start slowing it down and not running our offense. So, we wanted to continue the tempo and run our offense, and what they were giving us was in the passing game, and so we ran our offense and tried not to let off the gas pedal until later in the game.
You talked about a lot of kids that can contribute. It does seem like over the past few weeks, all of a sudden you have a lot of different weapons on the football field, and that's got to be great for this offense.
Well, I think some of it was Tyree missed some games early. Jan missed some games early with an ankle, and he hasn't played a lot of football, and so for him just catching up. But I think just a new system, an offensive line that's beginning to gel a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of contributing factors, and we're excited with our trajectory right now, and we just want to continue to grow.
And I certainly don't want to leave out the defense because I know you said you wouldn't call it shutting him down, but you certainly limited the damage that Andrew Stripling did. Marble Falls quarterback. He's a Division I kid. It's not like he's going to Abilene Christian, and tall kid, long arms, and threw the ball nicely. But you guys were able to limit them to 21 points, and a big part of that was keeping him at bay.
Well, I think so, and I really believed he was a strong quarterback. Watching tape and the thing that he does, and I think I mentioned this last week, is he's one of those guys that buys time, but his eyes continue to stay down the field. This day and age in high school football, I think a lot of times your quarterback is the guy that is the best athlete on the team, and so whenever things break down, they just take off running. Well, I thought we did a fairly nice job in the secondary. We had a couple of busts early on third downs, but we did a nice job of covering up when he's in scramble mode and defensive line. Lost leverage a few times, but ultimately did an okay job of keeping him in front and getting him down.
So this Friday night, you guys hit the road again, and you're going to Elgin for a 7:30 p.m. district matchup, and taking on a Wildcats team that's just like you guys, 3-3 and 2-1 in the district. Quarterback Jacob Harkins and running back Peter McFarland, they're kind of the majority, it seems like statistically, of this Wildcats offense. But Elgin's defense has kind of allowed points in bunches as well. So What have you picked up, just from their game film so far? How are you guys preparing for this team?
Well, what we picked up is you can't do a bunch of scoreboard watching and seeing who scored this on that opponent and vice versa. They're as athletic of a team as we've seen in a while. They've got great speed in their secondary, we think. Play some man coverage and blitz a lot, and they'll blitz as much or more than anybody we've seen thus far. And so we'll need to be able to shake loose of some of that man coverage and hopefully run the football at them a little bit. Offensively, they've got the two guys you mentioned. The one quarterback has been pretty much the stronghold, but he didn't play last week. The McFarland kid actually played some quarterback last week, and so we believe that that either one of them could play. I mean, I don't think the guys dinged up too bad. So their offense doesn't change drastically with the two. I mean, 12's a little bit more efficient in the throwing game, and 10's a little bit more efficient running the ball as a quarterback. But they have weapons, and they're a really good football team.
So, Coach, final question. A couple teams now kind of log-jammed at 2-1 in the district, and you're really getting into the thick of this. So how excited are you just to kind of, put your head down and really see where you guys match up as the last few weeks of the season are underway?
Well, I know that if we look anything beyond Elgin, we're gonna have some issues. So we understand and realize that this is a big football game for us, and I think we're gonna. So far, we had a good practice yesterday, and I think we'll do a good job of understanding that the most important thing is controlling what happens this week.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us today. Try to stay dry this week, and I hope you get some practices in. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next week.